Heyo, welcome to OmniBros on a Wednesday night. Thank you, Lou, for accommodating my need to change it from a Friday to a Wednesday. This is all on me. I scheduled a show for a Friday night thinking it was March 1st. And of course, as in my OmniDog way, it was actually February 28th, the last day of the
Mm,
month. So,
that's
so yeah, I apologize, but here we are. And we have James has already declared favorite villains, Omar VFC. Topic over. Let's talk about ice cream.
oh my god. Wow.
That's the comment of the night.
Is is Omar our grizzly as far as a villain is concerned? Is he?
Grizzly.
Yes. Let me think. Shocker? Maybe he's our shocker.
I okay, wait. He left OmniBros to go on and be a bigger success. He used this as a springboard, which is fair. And
Mhm.
I will say he's still one of my closest friends on YouTube. But if we tried to categorize him as a villain,
Mm.
it'd be somebody that used us and ditched us to go on to bigger and better things, like somebody from a soap opera.
Ooh. I know you were a big fan of Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, but that was like back in college and afterwards with my mom. I can't even remember who the villain was back then. I do remember Falcon Crest because Morgan Fairchild was in that. That was in
Okay.
the 80s.
Okay.
Uh, oh,
I don't remember much of Days of. I know there was a guy with an eye patch at one point. I think
oh
it was
yeah,
like
yeah, eye patch guy. I remember him. Yeah. Um, but it would be somebody that had to use this for a springboard and then got a better offer, like Beyonce left Destiny's Child. But
ooh.
Beyonce's not a villain. Beyonce's her own. I mean, she's Beyonce. And I'm comparing Omar to Beyonce? Okay, that's ridiculous.
Are you saying he's our Justin Timberlake?
Okay, yeah. I don't yeah, Justin Timberlake's a bit douchey. But, but I don't want to go on record as saying VFC's douchey because he's really been good to me. He's really a good friend.
I love no. Here's the thing. If you know Omar, if Omar likes you, he's gonna dig at you a little bit.
Oh, constantly.
Yeah, that's
He'll
his.
be
That's his
sending you
way.
texts every day
Yeah.
say, saying names to you that he can't say on the air.
Yes, very much. So. Very much so.
Yeah.
If Omar does like you, he'll dig on. He'll kind of twist the screw a little bit on you a little
Yeah.
bit. Just as fun, but it's all done in jest and in love.
Oh yeah. NFL dude Elizabeth Holmes. Wait, is she the one that? Isn't she the woman that had the fake pharmaceutical company or something and went to jail? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Okay, so you got me going down a rabbit hole. The eye patch guy was Steve Johnson. Steve Patch Johnson is a fictional character on Days of Our Lives.
Oh, was he? But was he a bad guy?
I don't know.
I think he was a good guy.
Ooh, there's a Days of Our Lives fandom. There's a wiki for Days of Our Lives. That is a rabbit hole I do not need to go down because that'll be a few hours of my day.
Speaking of wiki, I just found out our across the corner neighbor, which is like 2 steps away, their son is he has a real job in tech doing something, but there was a 60 Minutes thing on him because he edits 2/3 of all Wikipedia articles.
Stop.
His license plate says Wiki 06.
Jesus.
He's like the Wikipedia master. So I got to go talk to him and see if he needs help with comic books.
Man, yeah, that'd be a sweet gig. I mean, it's got to be a lot of work though. You're constantly trying to edit people.
It's all volunteer. I don't think it pays him a nickel.
Oh no, then I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, no. You don't want to be a Wikipedia editor. It's all volunteer.
So okay, for the record, because now I'm falling down this rabbit hole. Steve Johnson, aka Eye Patch Guy from Days of Our Lives, What year? I'm going to give you a year. Was his first appearance?
His first appearance. Okay, wow. My mom watched that every day for a long time.
You've been there for a while.
Are you giving me a year? Or you want me to try and guess it?
Try and guess it.
I'm gonna guess 1978.
1985.
1985.
Yeah, his first appearance was in 1985. His last appearance was in 2009.
Whoa, that's a long-running character.
That is a very long-running character. That is a solid paycheck for that man.
You want to know what's embarrassing now that I have to admit?
Mm-hmm.
My mom passed away in 84, which meant I was watching Days of My Life myself in 1985 because I remember Patch. Oh my God.
I used to catch Days of Our Lives mostly because it was on when I was homesick from school. So I never really watched it. I'd watch like, oh, Jesus Christ, there's nothing else on until cartoons show up. I guess I'll put this on. It was that, and then there was also Daytime Talk Show, which was huge in the 90s, and then a little bit into the 2000s. But Jerry Springer and all that stuff, Ricky Lake, Jenny Jones, that stuff was big in the 90s. So it would be a slew of them. Of course, Jerry Springer went downhill for me once they started bolting down the chairs and people couldn't throw down the chairs.
Which is a great reference.
That is the most disappointing freaking thing. When they started bolting down the chairs, I was like, okay, this is boring.
Wait. Oh, this is true. The VFC visit to OmniDog's lair back in the day was so suspenseful and exciting.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's when he came. First of all, he came in 2018 to go to Baltimore with me, and he was fine. 2019, he came with Melanie. This is the other house, and they were in our guest room. And I think he had a couple of pops, and we did a live stream.
Mm-hmm.
And he made a very not safe for work comment about a life-size Harley Quinn that people at the time, that thing was on sale for like $5,000 and people wanted to do a GoFundMe for it.
Mm-hmm.
He made a very off-color reference to it, and the tension just built from there.
The Treaty of Versailles was probably less tense than watching that video. I'm sitting there going, he's going to knock something over. Jess is going to strangle him. Jess is really going to strangle him before the end of this live stream, isn't he?
Yeah, the minister says that was the most tense thing he'd ever witnessed on YouTube.
I fully expect it to cut to black. There is a technical difficulty sign that pops up. You know the one that we used from The Simpsons? It cut back, and Omar just has a black eye, and he's looking.
I wouldn't let him come stay at our house again until last year, and he was absolutely perfect. When no, it was last year? I think it was the year. No, it was in this house. Oh, I think it was 2023. I'm losing track of the years. Then he and his family visited in the spring, and we went out with them a few times for spring break. His girls were here. But yeah, he was a perfect gentleman, and Melanie was lovely as always. So he's welcome back now. But I agree that this was a very tense time, because then afterwards he kept that wasn't the worst. Then he kept grabbing these figures off my shelves and taking pictures of them. I need these for my channel. I need these for my channel. I go, what? You're not gonna? No, you're not. And then he went out and started grabbing my albums, and one had like 4 LPs in it, and all the albums shot out and knocked down this really expensive action figure. And I said, okay, that's it. Good night. You're going upstairs. Go to bed. Go to bed. That's it.
Hey, give me 1 second. I got to get the door real quick, okay?
Okay. In Ned Flanders' voice, OmniBros only Wednesday night. Better check with the Reverend. Diddly diddly hi, diddly ho. OmniBro diddly odalies. Yeah, should we lock? I don't think Omar's like Elizabeth Holmes. She's truly evil. Omar just likes to give crap to people. That's all. Here's Marvel Bab. Welcome, as always. Great to see you. Javier, welcome, welcome. AS, good to have you here on a Wednesday. William Lee, good to see you. NFL dude, February 29th is free ice cream and pie day. Pie day is actually Omar's birthday. Hey, Omni and Lou, happy working day now. Joey's from down under, so it's tomorrow there. So you're working? I'm going to keep going back to this because I think this is so funny. And I'm glad to have Matt here. Good to have you, Matt. I know this was kind of a last minute thing, so we may not have that many viewers because we sort of did it last minute. Jess in his best soap opera voice. Omar's trying to destroy me. Does that sound good? Oh. Being on a soap opera is like most actors' dreams job. Hacker Arcade. That's a cool profile pic. I like it.
That is a cool profile pic. What is okay, so the thing is with soap operas is you go a long enough time, you're gonna repeat some storylines and you're gonna run into the cliches. Kind of like with this show. We've been doing this in long enough time now where it's like, well, fuck, I don't know what we're gonna talk about tonight. We've covered everything. Let's just repeat an old topic. What is probably one of the most cliche ones that you've heard for a soap opera? There's obviously the evil twin brother.
Oh,
is the most cliche of cliche soap opera storylines, right?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. See, my mom watched a lot of soap operas. There's Days of Our Lives, Young
and the Restless,
All My Children. Even my fraternity, we watched All My Children at lunch. And I can't think, but there was one really good actress in one of them, and she played a normal woman, and then she played like an older evil aunt version of her. The woman's name was Cecil, the good woman, and then she did double duty as the evil twin person. But yeah, evil brother shows up was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Dark Shadows, that was great. My mom wouldn't watch that because it was about vampires and werewolves. I loved getting home and watching that. That was middle school. Endless Night, I think was one. Maybe gosh, I can't think of any. This is so long ago. This is like 40 years ago for me to think of these, or even back into the 70s when they were really popular. Days of Our Lives was on a Time magazine cover back when Time magazine was like a real thing. Everybody in America got Time magazine.
Yeah.
Wiki has close to 7 million articles, and if you want to download the full site, it'll be 156 gigs, which is still somehow smaller than the latest Call of Duty. That's 156 gigs.
I thought it'd be more.
Call of Duty or Wikipedia?
Wikipedia.
I watched Days of Our Lives in college. The biggest storyline I remember was Jack and Jennifer getting married. Oh, what was the one with Jeannie? Oh, Jeannie Francis was so smoking hot back then. She ended up and is still married to Lieutenant Riker from Star Trek Next Generation. But Jeannie Francis was a huge star back then.
What I'm discovering right now is that a large population of comic book nerds really dug soap opera, especially in the chat right now.
Are we going by the chat?
Yeah.
Peace to your mom. Yes, she loved All My Children. The intro music, yeah. Oh, The Days of Our Lives was a great soap opera. What soap operas do you think had the biggest impact on pop culture? Probably Dark Shadows, I guess. But as far as pop culture goes, Omar Manhandling Collectibles is on brand. He had a few pops in him, to be honest. But he had a few pops the last time he visited, and he was fine. So I know he's capable. Then Omar bumped into the bust on Jess's shelf. The bookcase slid to the side, and there was the crushed velvet red shirt, the crushed velvet blue shirt. Hey, Batman, good to have you here.
Hey, Batman.
Great surprise to see you live, OmniBros. Good to see you, Barnacle Blake.
Good to see you.
Dr. Doom, of course, for Marvel. Darkseid for Evil. I mean, DC. We're thinking of, General Hospital. That was, I think that was the one Jeannie Francis was on.
General Hospital?
Yeah, because that was popular when she was on it. Oh, Guiding Light. As the world turns, you guys are doing way better than I am. Wow. And I was living during them. Guiding Light and As the World Turns. Wow.
She's still there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Someone having amnesia. Yeah, that was a cliche. You're right.
That's a big one. Yep. Amnesia was a big one. They hit their head like on a banana or something. It's like, oh, I got
banana.
Yeah. I've got amnesia. Car accident. You know, hey, we're about to get married in 3 days. I'm so happy. I can't wait. Oh, no, car accident. And one of them dies, right? That's
dead and brought back to life because the coroner made a mistake or something.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. Damn.
And then there were the nighttime ones: Dynasty, Falcon Crest, and Dallas. I watched Falcon Crest because of Morgan Fairchild.
Yep. Dallas was big.
Dallas was really big.
I think that the whole soap opera thing has kind of shifted, and now things like Grey's Anatomy, it's a soap opera. It really is a soap opera. It's been around for 20 years.
You ended up getting all of it forced down your throat by your wife, right?
See, it started that way, and then I fell down a rabbit hole where I went, this show was really captivating. Okay. Although the last 2 seasons have not been as good or as strong because they brought in a new group of young doctors, and I got to be honest with you, don't like them too much. They're not that great. But even the main actress, Meredith Grey, is kind of transitioning out of the show, where she'll probably be in 4 episodes out of a 20-episode season now because they're trying to shift away from her and trying to focus on the new doctors, but it's not that good.
Oh, Edge of Night. That's the one I was thinking of. Mr. Awesome. You're pulling on all these great ones. NFL Dude reminding us what's a good place to buy comics that are melodramatic, just like a soap opera. Thank you. Appreciate it. That would be InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions from 30% and in some of the sales up to like 80%. Don't forget your 2% loyalty discount. Free $50 gift card is given away every month. We just gave it away Monday, and Labruski won. Yes, so we'll be giving another one away in the next month of March. $50 in an order gets you free shipping in the United States. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. And I am lamenting the fact that I took a nap yesterday and woke up to find out that Absolute Transmit was sold out everywhere online.
Really?
Within an hour.
Jesus.
Wow. All the sites. I had to go to the Bezos site to pay full price because I slept on it. And that makes sense that it's sold out because it's been out of print for so long, but that didn't occur to me. I was just like, I'll just order when I usually order at 5:00 or whatever. And I mean, I think they still have copies of Spider-Man 6, which is out of print, but I think they must have ordered, all the sites must have ordered more. But wow, Transmet 3 just boom, out of print, out of stock.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Love of Life. Oh, Search for Tomorrow. That's right. I remember Search for Tomorrow. The nice new boyfriend turns out to be evil soap opera trope was popular. Yeah. I thought General Hospital had Jeannie Francis. 45 to 55 didn't have many TV options. That's how old you are, or the age group you're in?
I think that might be the age group. Yeah. Yeah, you know, kids really don't realize how good they have it now in terms of TV, because everything is streaming and everything is like, well, I didn't catch it now. That's fine. I'll catch it tomorrow morning or something like that. Or before I go to school, I could just throw it on the TV if I missed an episode of what I want to watch. Or
Yeah.
cool, man. You missed an episode when I was a kid growing up. That was it. You had to wait until reruns started again.
Did they even? Yeah, but I don't even think soap operas had reruns. I think they went straight through.
Yeah. I'm talking about general TV for kids.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. Because you missed the episode. That was it. Now you got to wait for reruns whenever that would happen, and then you caught the episode that you missed, and you just kept going, and then you show up to the next day at the playground, and you go, oh man, all the kids were talking about, man, that was a great episode, did you watch it? And then you have to go, no, I was in my stupid communion class at 6:00 at night on a Wednesday because for whatever reason my mom wanted me to attend it, and I'm not bitter at all. Thanks, Mom, for my first communion. I missed that episode of Dragon Ball.
Susan Lucci, she was nominated 17 times and she eventually won one, but she was nominated 17 times in a row. I don't know that she had a sense of humor about it, but after a while I think it got to be even funny to her, and she finally won a daytime Emmy. Ex-Cammer, welcome. Nice to see you.
Would you classify ER as a soap opera?
It could be. It had those personal relationship things that got in the way of, gunshot wounds coming into the ER. They were always, there were. I think so. Yeah. Because they concentrated on their the doctors' lives.
ER had an amazing cat. George Clooney was huge on ER for a while. And this was shaking head George Clooney, where when he was in a movie, he
jumped his head in ER.
I forgot there was a director that apparently stopped him mid-take, grabbed him by the head and said, stop it, stop it, stop it. I forgot where I heard that story before.
He did it all through ER. I remember that. Yeah. The Guiding Light had a Marvel Comics crossover once. Awesome. Bringing it right into our little rabbit hole comics. It was a good thing Omar was good during his last visit. Might have been tragic had he bumped into the leaning bookshelf of death. That thing is gone. My billies are coming Friday, and I appreciate everybody's concern, especially Sazmerf. Sazmerf was very concerned for me. I appreciate that. What's up, Doc? Good to see you. Oh, getting hit by lightning. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
General Hospital had John Stamos, Rick Springfield, Demi Moore, Ricky Martin. I remember that was on ER. That was the first time I saw Ming Na, who I've had a 30-year-long crush on.
I've heard John Stamos is a dick.
I've heard that too.
I've heard he's an asshole in real life. That people he does not like fans, or he doesn't get along with fans. I've heard he's just not a nice person.
Yeah. I prefer Who Shot Mr. Burns? Who Shot JR? Mary Crosby, daughter of Bing Crosby, it turned out. Flamingo Road. That's what it was, not Falcon Crest. I apologize. You're right, Mr. Awesome. Mr. Awesome, you're like the soap opera wiki.
Seriously.
You know a lot of stuff.
Somebody spent a lot of time watching soaps.
Melrose Place, I watched that with the sound off. That was definitely a soap opera. A lot of pretty people in that one. I watched that with the sound off. It was background. I'm not a wrestling fan. Would you agree with this? Wrestling's kind of a soap opera?
Oh, 100%. It's soap opera for dudes. It totally is. And some women, actually a lot of women I know now watch wrestling. But it's 100% a soap opera for dudes because it's all it is two guys they get the mic, they go, you did da 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 and you did da 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 and I'll see you Sunday night at WrestleMania, and then they try to tell a story about it. And yeah, the story is fabricated, but that's the fun part about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Entertainment Weekly has a list, the 15 best soap operas that we've loved and lost. Let's see what we've got.
Okay. I love this is where we're going with the show.
Hey, you know what? It's Wednesday. We're flying by the seat of our pants. We have a topic. We will probably hit it at some point tonight. But let's go with this. Number 1 of 15, All My Children, which ran from 1970 to 2011. Good Lord.
Wow. Well, we
Yeah.
watched it in my fraternity 77 through 81.
Jesus. Number 2, One Life to Live.
Oh, yep. Remember that one?
It ran from 1968 to 2013. Wow. Number 3. Man, these are just getting longer and longer. As the World Turns. Ran from 1956 to 2010.
Whoa.
It's a very long time. Number 4, Guiding Light. I've never even heard of this.
Yeah, I remember that one.
1937 to 2000. This was before World War II ended.
These things started on most of the ones you're talking about. They started on radio, and
really?
they had soap companies as their advertisers. That's how they got to be called soap operas. And then they transitioned to TV.
Okay. Ryan's Hope, 1975 to 1989. Dark Shadows, 1966 to 1971.
That was awesome.
I've never heard of that one.
Dark Shadows?
No, that's way before my time.
Oh, it was vampires and Barnabas Collins and witches.
Wasn't there a Johnny Depp movie a few years ago?
Oh, I don't know.
He was a vampire in it?
Dark Shadows was great. You couldn't kill Barnabas Collins. There was like 40 versions of him from medieval time, and he was that was such a actually it was scary. That show scared me. It had great opening music, just great.
Number 7, Passions. I remember Passions. 1999 to 2008. The Edge of Night, 1956 to 1984. Another World, 1964 to 1999. Goodness, these lasted a long time. Sunset Beach. This only lasted 2 years.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, that only lasted 2 years. Loving the City. I'm just going to start going down the list. Generations. Santa Barbara?
Oh, yeah. I think Mr. Awesome named that one. I don't remember Santa Barbara.
Port Charles. That's the list that I got. Huh.
Port Charles. I don't know. Grey's Anatomy was pretty good until they killed off Lexi Gray. It was so sad when she died. Who was Lexi Gray?
Baby, you want to fill us in on who's Lexi Gray? You know more than I do. Sweetie?
Who is the actress that played her?
Who's the actress? Oh. See, my wife is a living Wikipedia for Grey's Anatomy because she's watched the series about 3 times at this point.
I could probably ask my daughter. She liked it too.
It was played by Chyler Leigh. Chyler Leigh?
Don't know her.
I don't either. I think she was on before I came on and watched it.
What up, YP? Good to see you in your magic profile pic. Professor Chaos turning on the water hose to flood the world. What's more diabolical than that? Professor Chaos.
I think that's
the hell is Professor Chaos.
I'm pretty sure it's a South Park reference.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because There's a character in South Park played by my favorite character, Butters, and he's got an evil version of himself called Professor Chaos. I love Butters. He's so innocent.
Thanks, James. I already bought it. I had to get it from the Bezos site. It's probably gone for my LCS now.
I can't believe this thing sold out so quick.
Yeah. Oh, D Header. Yeah, I know him on eBay. I checked eBay for prices, and they were all based on the yesterday, and they're all based on the old one.
D Header is still selling books. Man, he was somebody I used to buy from.
Green Lantern Volume 2 by Jeremy Adams is out for 50% off on IST. Barnacle, I ordered it.
Good pickup.
I picked up the Amalgam Omni from IST. I was surprised to see that was still in print. It's still on IST, I think. And I think it's the Jim Lee cover that everybody wants. Mr. Miracle sold out fast and reappeared in a week or two. So maybe keep Transmet sealed so you can return it. Thank you, Doc. Not a bad idea. On-demand TV spoiled people these days. I remember I used to record VHS every Saturday morning cartoon because of Chinese school.
Yeah, I think I've told this story before. I taped over my brother being brought home from the hospital when he was first born to record an episode of Pokemon as a kid. And my mom was pissed.
Oh, I bet.
She was furious.
An episode of Pokemon. How old were you?
Shit, I was probably 8, 9 years old, something like that. Yeah, it was a good episode of Pokemon, in my defense. But my mom wanted to kill me when she found out.
Oh, Lucci seemed to have good humor about it. She hosted SNL lampooning herself. Okay, good. Rami's here. Welcome. Yeah, Kenny. Back in the day, if you missed before VCRs, yeah, that's my time. Before VCRs, you were screwed. Here's 2 people saying that we should check out The Pit on Max.
Oh, I love The Pit. The Pit's fantastic.
What is it about?
The Pit is a medical drama, and in fact, one of the main actors from ER is now much older now, but he's the head of the medical team on The Pit. So The Pit basically, it's set in, I want to say it's Pittsburgh. Pretty sure it is. That's why it's called The Pit. And it's basically, it follows around a medical team, and it's kind of like 24. Do you remember when 24, every single episode was an hour in real time?
Yeah, I love that show.
Every single episode on The Pit is 1 hour during the day of a medical professional and what that's like. So it starts at 8 o'clock. So we got 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11. And I think we're already up to 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, something like that. And dude, it is very, very good. The Pit is fantastic.
My wife and I love medical dramas. Maybe we should watch that because we just finished Shrinking.
Okay, yeah.
Need a new show.
Yeah, no, you'll love The Pit. You'll love Paradise. I recommended that to you last week.
Yeah,
I think you'll dig that. But The Pit is really, really good if you like medical dramas.
Okay, nice. Thank you, James and Hacker. I saw Clooney in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I did not did not know it was George Clooney in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes back in 1983 or 82 or something. Oh, yeah. Our favorite Downton Abbey is definitely a soap opera. My favorite soap opera. Love Downton Abbey. Love the movies. Love everything about it. Chris, I'm so glad you said that.
You and your wife are Downtoners.
Oh, we're Downtoners all the way.
Is it over? Is Downton Abbey, is that done?
The TV show is, but I think they're making another movie. They've followed it up with movies. The first 2 movies were really good.
Okay.
I think they're making a third one. Richard Dean Anderson. Was he MacGyver? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Maybe.
Who's Richard Dean Anderson? Who's that, Kenny? I recognize the name, but I forget who he is. You grew up without cable. I got it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a soap. Yeah, it's a learning opportunity. There you go. That's why they're called soap ops. During the radio days, they had like Ivory Soap and Tide or something as their as their sponsors. Yes, it was. Yes, they did a Dark Shadows movie with Depp. Huh, I missed it. Oh yeah, I remember they had comic books. They were like Gold Key comic books. Port Charles was a General Hospital spinoff. Okay. Kyler Lee was Kara's sister in Supergirl. Okay. Of course, Supergirl expert knows that. Kenny, thank you. Okay. Villain plot on General Hospital with the Ice Princess and freezing the world. 1981 led to a big adventure story trend.
Really?
Well, I don't remember that. I just remember liking Jeannie Francis. What up, Matthew? Here's Hondo. Good to see you, Hondo.
I mean, the X-Men is just a soap opera, right?
Oh, yeah. That's got to be comics' biggest, longest soap opera.
Right. That was Chris Claremont kind of shifted it towards the soap opera stuff, didn't he?
I can't disagree with that. I think that, yeah. He yeah, he started all the interpersonal relationships, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
D-Header has a listing for for a 5-gallon bag of Dr. Pepper soda fountain syrup for $130. We should tell T-Lar Blunt about that.
Listen, I'm getting my tax return tomorrow, and I'm in the mood to make stupid decisions.
Here it is.
There it is.
All you have to do is mix it with carbonated water, I think. Wow. Or Tyler would stick a straw in it and just drink the fountain syrup right out of it.
Oh, poor Tyler. I just remembered this is tax season. Tyler's got to be swamped, the poor guy right now.
Yeah. Brood? Typo. Meant to say heyo. Oh, hey. My daughter's into Golden Girls, so I went down the rabbit hole. Golden Girls had a spinoff, Empty Nest. Then Empty Nest had a spinoff called Nurses. Then Nurses had a spinoff called They're All Dead Now.
What?
No. I'm in that.
Oh, don't do that. No, you just reminded me that all the Golden Girls are dead now.
Well, it can't be a surprise. That was like a 1980 show, and they were golden back then.
I know, but I love the Golden Girls. I will still watch the reruns of the Golden Girls. Okay, Blanche was my girl. I used to love watching the hell out of Golden Girls.
She was saucy.
Oh, dude, and not only that, the intro song is a classic. Thank you for being a friend.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God, Golden Girls is awesome.
I am watching The Wire. My daughter and I watched the pilot, and I'm hooked. I'm ready to watch it.
It gets better.
I saw a young Michael B. Jordan in it.
Yep. He's very young in that. He's like a teen, almost a preteen when that show started.
Yeah. He's the only one that recognized that Hamilton wasn't a president when they called the Bills dead presidents. Hamilton wasn't a president.
But dude, it's a great show.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching it with Kelly. She's seen it so many times. She knows it all.
I have to get over the hump of that second season. Everybody tells me you just got to get over the second season, and then it's back to being amazing again.
Okay. Pitt season 1 will have 15 episodes. Episode 9 comes out tomorrow. The series was renewed. What? Okay, it's on Max?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice. Third Downton movie comes out in September. That's the next time I'll be leaving the house after Superman. September.
We get a new trailer in 3 days for Superman. I don't need to watch it. I'm not watching it either. Nope.
I've seen enough. I
Yep.
mean, you could have cut it off at Crypto coming to the rescue, and I'd have said, okay, I'm watching it 20 times.
I'm in the same boat as you. I don't think they can make a trailer as perfect as they did with that teaser. They don't need to do anything else for me.
100%. Okay, yeah, he was MacGyver. Meg Ryan, Julianne Moore, Laren Hill, and Marissa Tomei got their start on As the World Turns. I think that might be where Ming Na got her start too on As the World Turns. Ming Na, who's going to be at Awesome Con this year, which is in Washington, D.C. I'm going.
You want to talk about somebody that's aged gracefully? Marissa Tomei looks incredible for her age.
So does Ming Na. She's just 5 years younger than I am, and she looks like she did 30 years ago.
How old is Marissa Tomei? Marissa Tomei's been around acting-wise a long time.
She's got to be in her mid-upper 50s.
She is 60 years old.
Oh, okay. Same as Ming Na.
Yeah, Marissa Tomei looks incredible for her age.
Yeah. Most long-running comics have a little soap opera in them.
True. That's very true.
Don't forget the Golden Palace. What does D-Header not sell?
True.
Yeah, Maude was before Golden Girls. Time frame, wish, not time slot. Oh, not time slot. Yeah, Maude was set like after All in the Family and what the Jeffersons, like that. That was another Norman Lear production. And Bill Macy, the guy, I think I've told this before, Bill Macy, the guy that played Maude's wife on the husband on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this happened, but I was a teenager. Bill Macy and somebody, not his wife, came to my parents' house for dinner. And I was not allowed in the kitchen. I was not allowed to go to that dinner. I had to stay down in my room.
What?
They did not want me mucking around with Bill Macy. I don't know how they met it. I can't remember how they met him, or this was sometime in if I was a teenager, it was sometime in the mid 70s. But it was definitely not his wife. My parents told me afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Is this for real? Michael B. Jordan got his start on All My Children.
Wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't.
I thought he was super young in what I saw.
Hey, I've got something I wanted to bring up tonight because I wanted to talk to you about it. Well, it has to do with comics, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Marvel and DC Comics confirm plans for Marvel/DC and DC Marvel crossovers later this year. So we are getting apparently a DC and Marvel crossover, which is, I thought, something we would never get again, considering House of Mouse, Warner Brothers, and the rights, and how that situation is. Now, we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna read an excerpt from comicbookmovies.com. Another crossover, a modern crossover, or you flip it, asks a comic book. Turning to the retailers, what do you think? A large appreciative cheer led them to say, I guess we have no choice but to do this. Aaron Jenkins said, can I make more? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, basically that's all we've got, is that apparently there will be, in the next year, a crossover event with Marvel and DC superheroes. I don't know how I feel about this. I think
I know how I feel.
I'm not sure about this. I'm curious to see how this is going to work, because even back then, it was a little, well, my hero has to get a few shots off on your hero has to get a few shots. Now these are much bigger IPs than they were back then. And you could bet your bottom dollar that Spider-Man is not going to be taking a full-on punch to the face from Superman and getting knocked out, because Marvel will be like, I'll be goddamn, that match with Spider-Man makes us too much fucking money. Okay. And I'm kind of curious what the creative teams on this is. If they do I think in order to do this right, it's got to be a line-wide thing from both of them.
A
Unless
line-wide thing, not just a one event book.
Well, it's got to be the entire line for both of them, right? Unless
Okay.
you're just going to do a mini series and you've got one guy writing it from one perspective and then you got another guy writing it from another perspective and it's out of continuity. Which I think is more than likely what's going to happen. My take is, who would you like to see do it for Marvel? And I think the obvious choice is there. And who would you like to see do it for DC? Because I think the obvious choice is Hickman, right? For
I was going
something
to
this
say
big.
Hickman and Mark Waid.
Ooh, for
Mark
DC?
Waid knows DC characters better than anybody.
Good one. Yeah, Hickman's the obvious one for Marvel, right? Like, it's a no-brainer. But Hickman's also doing a lot of different stuff right now, so maybe he's a little bit too busy.
What about Al Ewing?
Al Ewing would be a very good choice for Marvel. That's a good one. Yeah.
Or my boy Jed MacKay.
Jed MacKay, very talented. Chip Zdarsky is playing more in the DC side of things right now, so I don't think he would be doing it.
But wait, he just got something on Marvel.
He got Captain America. He's doing Captain America. Huh. Yeah, I think you would go with Tiny Onion for DC.
Oh, interesting.
Right? He's been on a roll lately. It's either Tiny Onion or you do Nightwing. Why am I blanking on Taylor? Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor would be your go-to guy.
Wow. I would like Tom Taylor or Tom King because they use the C and D list characters so well.
Yeah.
And that's who I want to see in this thing. I don't first of all, I'm unlikely to pick it up.
Really?
JLA versus Avengers didn't do anything for me. The Amalgam universe, the other thing. I mean, I sampled them and I just thought, I don't want my worlds to cross, like George Costanza didn't want his worlds to cross. I gotta keep them separate. I don't, unless they're fighting like the Time Lord or they introduce the Anti-Monitor to Marvel Comics. I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah, it's not like chocolate and peanut butter put together. To me, it's just not. It's not my bag, baby. I love everybody that is excited about it, though. I mean, yeah, it's an exciting thing.
Here's the thing. I'm curious just to see how they pull it off and what exactly they're gonna do. Because again, these are no longer just comic books. These are massive IPs. And their parent companies are going to probably have a lot of say in what goes on in these books and how they cross over.
You know what I just thought of? If editorial gets from both sides, sticks their hands in so deep, it's going to end up like that Itchy and Scratchy episode where Marge complained and all Itchy and Scratchy do is on the front porch sipping lemonade. Lemonade? Thank you.
I love that episode.
I do too. But yeah, they'll neuter them so that they can't hurt each other.
I mean, hey, I'm all for watching Superman disembowel the Sentry, right? I don't think anybody's going to disagree.
Sentry.
I don't think anybody's going to disagree with Superman kicking the Sentry's ass across 30 pages, right?
Sentry.
They're like, oh, okay, maybe
delusional weirdo.
Yeah. Where the fans are like, the Sentry is Marvel's Superman. No, the Sentry is nowhere near as cool as Marvel's Superman. You keep telling yourself that. The Sentry is a C-list hero at best.
Oh boy, C-list, you're being generous tonight.
At best.
I think he's down to G and H.
Oh, he's gonna be in Thunderbolts. So who knows?
The Sentry is?
Yes.
I didn't see that in any of the. I thought the trailer was fun for Thunderbolts, but I don't remember seeing the Sentry.
I think he's the main antagonist in the Thunderbolts.
Oh, so you spoiled the whole thing for me. Thank you.
Oh, I promise it'll be fine. It's the Sentry. Nobody cares about the Sentry. I mean, Hickman did his best to make him interesting, though. Remember that in his Avengers run? He was pretty cool there.
Yeah.
I liked him there.
Yeah. The biggest soap opera of all time with sponsor, tons of drama, excitement, and FOMO of the OmniBros. Thank you, Rising Phoenix.
I don't know. I'm going to read it just because I really want to see what they do with it and how they cross. I think this is also going to depend on the creative teams, right? Because they could just hire friggin' some loser writer, and I really shouldn't talk like that because everybody's trying their best. They could hire. I don't know. Who's the one I hate? What's his face again? I'm trying to block his name out of my head.
Scott Lobdell?
No, because Scott Lobdell wrote Happy Death Day, and
right.
I really like.
You need to see that. Oh yeah, who do you hate? That's right.
Well, Scarlet Witch, Steve Orlando. Like if they hire Steve Orlando to write the Marvel side, I'm immediately just not reading it. Like I'm just not doing it. You know, but I think if you're gonna do this right, really get some solid talent on it. Get an Al Ewing, get a Mark Waid, and do it, and have them come up with a creative way to actually have this crossover and make it happen.
So, and you want it line wide, so like the Flash and Green Lantern and X-Men and Avengers and stuff.
Yeah, even if it's a really limited series, 3 months. We're gonna do this for 3 months. It's line wide. The Flash crosses over with, I don't know, the Guardians of the Galaxy or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there.
Yeah.
And you get one issue, it's the Flash. You get one issue, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, and then you've got a main tie-in thing for 3 months or something like that. Speedy gets hooked on heroin and he's chilling with Iron Man, who's an alcoholic somewhere in Vegas for like a weekend or something like that.
So they're in the Betty Ford clinic together?
No, dude, Speedy and Tony Stark on a weekend bender in Vegas is like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I want to see that book. That's the one I want
to see. If you're talking about Ming-Na Smothering Lion, I'm not sure I care what it costs. I'd like to get a picture with her and just say how awesome I think she is, especially in now I'm blocking on the name, Mulan. That was that's my favorite Disney movie. She was so good as Mulan. I probably just want to just tell her that.
Barnacle Blake brings up a good point. Aquaman versus Namor. We finally get an answer of who's the better one. And if Geo will burn down a comic book shop if Aquaman is beaten by Namor. Oh my gosh.
Upper management's watching. Hey, chocolate and peanut butter go great together. I know I'm saying I don't think these things will go great together. This is she's at a good friend's house tonight for the next couple of nights. So she's watching. Good evening, Kane. Yes, it's a surprise stream. Worlds colliding. Exactly. I agree with Jess. The crossovers come off disappointing.
They do. They always do. They've tried this before, and even then it wasn't that great. It's more of the gimmick. The gimmick is great, right? Having these two companies and they show up and it's like, wow, how are they going to interact with each other? Who would you pair off? Because there's got to be some synergy between the books, right? You can't have. I did a poor example of the Flash and Guardians of the Galaxy, which really doesn't make any sense. But something like the Green Lantern Corps and Guardians of the Galaxy crossover.
Okay, that makes sense,
right?
Yeah, I see. The thing is, I don't want them fighting each other. I want them combining forces for the greater good. But of course, there's going to be a misunderstanding between Wolverine and Batman or something, and it's going to go crazy for the first 20 pages until they're like, oh, you're here to help. Okay, good. I'll retract my claws, and you can put away those little bats you throw at me. Johns Hickman. Oh, it's too bad Jeff Johns is gone from DC. Right.
Yeah.
Scott Snyder, please. And Marvel, please pay Remender. Remender might be good. Who the art? Well, if it's line wide, Dan Moore would be great. But for the central, I'm sure there's like a central event, and then
You got a charger.
Several things going on. Plastic Man starts dating Mary Jane. How dare you? Stop that. I didn't open my DC versus Marvel omnibus yet. Should I wait for the updated one in 5 years? Yeah, this one's getting retconned. That's what everybody's hoping, is that absolute event JLA Avengers gets reprinted. So this is interesting. Jeremy Adams was on fire and just got a bigger contract. He's writing Flash and Green Lantern. I know he's writing Green Lantern. I had it right here. But is he still writing Flash? I want to see Supergirl Kara and Captain Marvel Carol working together, and their last name on Earth is Danvers. Wait, who's Bob? He's Bob. Bob. What? Wait. Where did we get? Where were we talking about? Okay, I'm lost.
That's the Sentry. I think his name in the movie for Thunderbolts is named Bob.
Bob.
Yes. That's how mediocre of a character the Sentry is. Where his name is Bob.
The trailer I thought was fun. It seems like a very tongue-in-cheek, fun movie.
I hate the Sentry so much, dude. I just don't like the character. I think he's lame.
I'm not going to defend him.
Oh my god! And Sentry Fallen Sun is one of the worst freaking comics I've ever read.
The only thing I've read about him was the Sentry.
Okay.
The trade.
Okay, kids. Here's a little homework for those of you out there. Go look up an issue called Sentry Fallen Sun. It is horrible.
Bloodline horrible?
It's close.
Ooh.
It's pretty close. It's one issue, and it is terrible. It's all about the death of the Sentry, and they retcon so much that it is implied that the Sentry in that issue took Rogue's virginity.
What?
Yes.
We all know it was Magneto when she was 16 and he was 40.
We don't want to acknowledge that. We don't acknowledge that anymore. There are some things in the comic book community that we just brush under the rug.
That line in Doomsday Clock about Thor and Hulk saving Superman. Thor and the green behemoth foes being from another world. The topic tonight first was soap operas, and now it is Marvel versus DC, and eventually we'll talk about our favorite villains.
Mm-hmm.
Batman versus Wolverine by Hickman and Jim Lee. You think Jim Lee's gonna pen a whole? Holy smoke!
There is no way in hell Jim Lee is penning a whole comic book right now. You'll get a cover, maybe a few pages.
Yeah. Wow. I don't even know what it would cost to get Jim Lee to do a comic.
Jim Lee doesn't get out of bed in the morning unless they pay him about $1 million. Okay.
Yeah, here was Speedy Tony and a venom-addicted Batman go on a road trip together. Denny O'Neil selling the same idea 3 times. I forgot that Batman was addicted to venom. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah, Kane, you missed a whole hour about soap operas. Mr. Awesome was the star. The ones we had forgotten about. Harley Quinn versus Deadpool. I'd read that. I would read that just because I love both characters.
That's a good one. Ooh, I feel like that'd be a missed opportunity if they don't give us at least one or two. Yeah, that'd be good.
If that's the first book and it's 5 issues of just them together, I would totally get that.
Who would you get to write it? Because it's got to be somebody who's sharp. The writing has to be really good. Yes. I think Chip Zdarsky could knock that out of the park.
Oh, good point.
I think you get a Chip Zdarsky.
Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor, but Zdarsky's very funny.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Surprise stream is good stream. I was going to go to bed. I will just later. Good. Thanks, Kane. I'm glad you could stay up. Mr. Awesome was the star of the first hour. Batman versus DD. Swamp Thing versus Poison Ivy. They're both on the same team.
You messed up on that one, but
I will say that I was thinking of favorite villains, and I feel like the Floronic Man is one of my favorite villains.
That's a good one. That's a very good one.
Yeah.
You could do Man Thing versus Swamp Thing, and they could look at each other and go, huh?
What? Oh, Sentry is Bob and the Thunderbolts, right? Hey, I just realized that Patty Bragg can be. That is what upper management's license plate is. PB&J.
That's sweet. I like that.
Thank you, Hondo, for noticing that. That's right. Flash Gordon. There's a Aquaman and Flash Gordon. Who's Flash Gordon from? Dynamite or something?
Has to be.
Cy Spurrier is on Flash now. I thought he was on it earlier. Okay. But I heard Jeremy Adams' Flash is great. Ooh, get some Jorge Jimenez art on this crossover.
He's doing Batman. He's launching the new Batman #1.
Oh yeah. Wait, with Mr. Inconsistent, Matt Fraction.
Yeah. I saw, Jorge Jimenez is doing art. Oh, Matt Fraction, who bats about 50% of the time, is doing the writing. This is either going to be really fantastic or, well, he tried.
The thing is he does humor really well.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He does humor and slice of life very well.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how you're going to work that into Batman, but I'm probably going to be a sucker and at least read it on digitally. Aku takes issue with you. He takes umbrage. The Sentry is a badass character, and his other persona is so cool. I just disagree with you, Lou.
Well, there's somebody out there for everybody.
Peace and love, Aku.
Yoko had John Lennon. Just saying. There's somebody out there for everybody, man. We saw how that turned out.
King Shark finds out he has an illegitimate child named Jeff.
Oh, that has to happen.
That'd be great.
On. That'd be so good.
Jim Lee is doing Hush 2 soon. Really? All of the art?
Is he doing the whole thing?
Don't do come on. You can just say Jim Lee is doing Hush. Matt had the same. Oh, you repeated yourself. Okay. Yeah, Aquaman dropped a whale on Namor in the 90s. Nice. Deathstroke versus Deadpool. Who could Deathstroke? Deadpool is a merc for hire. That's true.
Yeah.
And Deathstroke is. Deathstroke. Wait, who's the Deadshot? How about? Oh no, but he's DC.
Deathstroke. That's a good one.
Black Cat and Catwoman. They have to steal the gems. Okay, wait. The gems are people now, though.
Is that stuck around, or was that?
That's a good question. I only. It may have changed by now because that was a couple years ago.
Okay.
They were people, and Star bounced out of Black Cat for that. So I don't even know if Star's still going. I haven't even seen a Star trade paperback or anything.
Now we're just thinking about the heroes. What about the villains? Because the villains could also do the crossover as well. We're kind of just going one-sided on this.
Oh, and we are talking about villains.
Right. And, they got to do the Joker. The Joker, because for whatever reason, Joker has to show up. It's in his contract or something at this point.
And I want Wolverine to just go, I am so sick of you, and just boom!
Please.
Stick him with the blades.
Please do
just boom, out of there.
Joker and Deadpool?
But they've turned Joker so evil. And so off. He's so unhinged. And Deadpool's just, even though he kills, he's still funny.
Kingpin and Lex Luthor.
Oh, wow.
That's not bad.
No, yeah. Did somebody say that, or did you just come up with that?
I just off the dome.
Nice. Aquaman versus the Inhumans. Oh, Flash Gordon is a real good DC book. I didn't know. I'd like to see Peter Bagge doing a new Spider-Man comic. His comic, Megalomaniacal Spider-Man, is straight up the best Spider-Man one-shot of the aughts. Available on MU because it's crazy expensive. Was that in the... was that in those... the two books that came out with the indie artists doing Marvel?
I don't know.
Huh.
You got me on that one, man.
Oh, AS knows what's going on. Jeremy Adams even made Flash Gordon good. I didn't even know Flash Gordon was a comic. Oh, Scotty Young could do Harley versus Deadpool. He's got a good sense of humor too.
Oh, very good. Yeah, Scotty would be fantastic on that book. I'm trying to think of the villains crossing over, let's see. Well,
you know what? I've decided who my favorite Batman villain is. And I think it's the ventriloquist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Why? You just like the concept?
There's something about him. I like the Batman Adventures cartoon take on him. And I like the idea that Scarface is the one calling the shots, and the ventriloquist is just so mild-mannered and wimpy and stuff, and then he's got this alter ego that's completely evil, and it feels like Scarface, of course, is completely alive. So I think for right now, that's my fave.
All right, let's since we're talking about villains already, let's kind of go down our topic tonight because we're already starting to get a little bit late into it.
Hawkeye versus Green Arrow in a pub playing darts.
That's not bad. I think also we should probably go in with tempered expectations of what this is going to be. That's all I'm saying is,
yeah,
I would love it to be line wide. I would love this to be, hey, for the next 3 or 4 months, every book is going to kind of, in some way, shape, or form, cross over into this multi-company thing. But that's probably not what's going to happen. What's probably going to happen is this is a mini series. It's going to be 4 issues. 4 issues on our side, 4 issues on their side, and this person's writing this side and they're working with that side, and maybe the final issue will be one giant crossover between the two. I don't know.
I don't want it to suck. I want it to be good.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not rooting for it to be bad.
No, none of us want it to be bad. All of us I want this to be really good. My expectations are very tempered. Just knowing who owns this IP, the 2 companies.
Yeah, that's a good point about that.
Yeah. All right, so favorite villains. I thought this would be a fun topic, mainly because I'm doing a reread right now of It, and Pennywise is one of my favorite villains of all time. And I was like, oh man, this would be a really cool topic to revisit because we've done it before with comics, but I wanted to expand it to not just comics, but to kind of our favorite villains in general. But I really want to start with one of my favorite comic book villains of the last few years. And he's only appeared, to my knowledge, you can correct me on this, in a handful of issues since his reintroduction. And I'm going to go with James Gordon Jr. I love the concept of James Gordon Jr.
That's a good one. He's so psychotic.
Yeah.
And comes off as I think he had a redemption arc where they felt like, I can't remember, the past few years where they felt like they had worked on him in therapy in jail and stuff, and he came out professing to be all okay, and of course he was not all okay, and he's just super conniving. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, I will always remember James Gordon Jr. from the Black Mirror Scott Snyder comic book series, the Batman one that he did when he was writing, I think it was Detective Comics, wasn't it? That was Detective Comics at the time. It was a while. It was pre-New 52. This is a long time ago.
Detective Comics? That's a good question.
Gotta be Detective Comics.
Okay.
Because then, yeah, it is Detective Comics because then he got Batman for New 52. Right. So
okay. I won't. And then we got the one good issue of Detective for New 52, which was the first one, and then the rest was terrible.
Yeah. So James Gordon Jr. is a character that I all but forgot about until they really reintroduced him when Scott Snyder really reintroduced him in Detective Comics for that Black Mirror series that he wrote. I have not read anything else with him in it over the last few years, so my only thing about him is that series, and he is terrifying as a villain in that series. The thing is with that series is that he keeps playing with your expectations and with Jim Gordon, because Jim Gordon meets with him several times, and he's only in the backup of that series. He's a backup issue character, and you're going throughout the whole Black Mirror series going, is this dude psychotic? Is he not? He kind of messes with his dad a little bit, and he's playing with expectations. And then you get to the finale of Black Mirror, and you find out what he may or may not have done to baby formula across Gotham, and you go, oh no, this is not good. And they leave it really ambiguous to the point where they go, maybe I did it, maybe I didn't do it. In 20 years, you'll find out. That's more or less where they leave it at. And like, yeah, well, in 20 years, you'll find out if I did or if I didn't, when this whole city is rampaging with psychopaths.
That was called Strange Tales. Bag Spider-Man was years. Oh, before that happened. I don't think it's ever been reprinted. You'll know why if you read it. Oh, okay. Not favorite villains, but the Purple Man getting beat by Jessica Jones and Laura beating Kimura, both with help from Jean, are great. I never finished Jessica Jones, but good. I'm glad she beat the Purple Man. Batman vs Superman Rogues Gallery. Suicide Squad goes after Spider-Man. Lex Luthor, Joker, Darkseid, General Zod, Reverse Flash, and Livewire. Oh, I know who I have to pick. You can riff on something right now because I have to pick my favorite Flash villain because he freaked me out as a kid, and I'm going to see if it's in. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's right here.
Captain Cold or whatever his name is.
No, Abracadabra, the villain from the 64th century. He was a magician in the 64th century.
Uh-huh.
And he comes back in time to use his magic. This cover freaked me out as a kid when I bought it. Look at that. Puppet Flash. I was so scared, and I read it and I was less scared, but to me, this was such an awesome villain cover. The Flash covers were so great. So yeah, Abracadabra. He's one of my favorite Flash villains because he scared me as a kid.
Um,
How about Hannibal Lecter?
That's a good one. I've got a list here. Let's go with. Well, we'll stray away a little bit from the comics for a second. Let's do Norman Bates. Norman Bates, man.
Janet Leigh's villain.
Yeah, Norman Bates. Hey, I watched Psycho for the first time. I think it was last year, and it still really holds up. And Norman Bates is still really creepy in the movie, despite knowing everything that happens in it, and the big revelation and all that. He still has his moments where it's like, man, he's genuinely very creepy in the movie. It's still effective. It's still very effective.
Back when the VCR was first came out and popular, that was one of the first movies I rented because I had never seen it. I was genuinely shocked at the ending and the reveal and everything. I was just like, whoa, I didn't see that coming because I knew about the Janet Leigh in the shower scene, but I didn't. That was a great reveal.
Yeah. That's Anthony Perkins, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he came out as gay later on in his life, I think, as well. He had a wife and kids at that point, though.
I know he had a wife and kids, and then I had heard that too. This is funny from Beyond Comics. What's up, Beyond from New Zealand? My favorite Omnifos are Reverse Flash, Floronic Man, Sinestro, and Omnidog in his Neil Adams Batman video. I was definitely a villain in that. Thank you, Beyond. Punisher versus Deathstroke, written by Garth Ennis and illustrated by Mike Zack. Wow.
Good. That's very good.
Here's a good question because I don't remember the answer. Did Barbara ever have good interactions with Gordon Jr.?
Good interactions?
It's not like they held hands and went to school together.
No, they interacted, but I wouldn't call it good.
Yeah, I don't think so because Jim Gordon Jr. was a recent like pre-New 52 creation. I don't even know if Black Mirror is his first appearance, but growing up, it was just Barbara as a kid from Jim Gordon. Oh yeah, that's
I think they mentioned in the comic.
That's a popular theory from the fall when he was a baby in Batman Year One.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good theory.
I've got also Dr. Doom. Come on.
Oh yeah, I'm not arguing.
Dr. Doom, especially when he's written by Jonathan Hickman. Hickman has a way of writing Dr. Doom that I'm like, oh man, yeah, you get it. You get the character. One of my favorite Fantastic Four moments is when Valeria shows up to Dr. Doom and says, Uncle Doom, can I ask some advice? It's like, because for whatever reason, Doom has this soft spot for Valeria.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Valeria even confesses to Doom, oh yeah, I've been smarter than my dad for like 3 years at this point. I'm way more intelligent than him. And Doom respects Valeria a lot too. I love it. I love their dynamic. I love the relationship. I love Doom as a villain. I think he's awesome.
I love it. I can't remember the issue. It could have been any issue, but Valeria says, Uncle Doom, what are you up to? She's already picked up on something and she's like already suspicious. Uncle Doom, what are you up to here?
Yeah, dude. Oh man. Yeah, whenever Doom is written by Hickman, I'm like, yep, you just get it. And Secret Wars was just the cherry on top on that whole thing. It's so good. God.
You should read Ryan North's Fantastic Four. He does a really good Doctor Doom throughout it. The first 4 trades. Doctor Doom is really well done in it.
Okay. I think that's I think that's a requirement. To write a good Fantastic Four series, you have to be able to get Doctor Doom as well. Because they're so intricately, they're so tied
It
together in so many ways.
is where is Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom going to be introduced? Like in the Incursion movies or Fantastic Four, or do we know any
It's
idea?
gotta be this Fantastic Four movie, right? Because what do we have left? We have Daredevil. He's not gonna be in that. We have Thunderbolts, probably not gonna be in that. We have Fantastic Four that's coming out this year. And next year is next year Doomsday? I think next year is the Marvel event.
Because I'm wondering if like the Incursion movies that Iron Man's doppelganger on Ultimate Earth is Doctor Doom, since it's Robert Downey Jr.
Can I tell you, I was cool with it at first, but I'm not crazy about the whole Robert Downey Jr. coming back to play Doctor Doom. It just kind of screams of like, please, can we bring you back because we really need a win right now? You know,
100% agree. I'm underwhelmed by Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom.
I think it cheap. I mean, in a way, for me, this is just me. It kind of cheapens his death. In Endgame, it's like, well, okay, I'm assuming I know some of the story beats that you're gonna have to hit, because obviously you're gonna have the moment where Peter sees him and he's like, "Mr. Stark, you're back," and he's probably gonna fool everybody for the first 30 minutes or 40 minutes of the movie, and then he goes, "Aha! I'm actually a villain this time," right? You know?
But doesn't he have a disfigured face? That's why he covers his face.
Doesn't mean it's gonna happen at the beginning of the movie. It could be something they add later on, right?
That's true.
I don't know. I don't. He's got to be in Fantastic Four, right? And chances are he's going to be the post-credit scene of Fantastic Four, and however that ties in, which I'm really looking forward to Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. And now they're saying that Chris Evans is back, and I'm like, you guys really
as what?
Cap.
I thought he got old and got over it and handed it. Okay, whatever. I don't know. If maybe he's the Cap on Ultimate Earth.
It's comics, man. And there's speculation that he might be Captain Hydra, and like, okay, all right, whatever. Whatever happens, I'll be there. I'll be there opening night, I guess. This is why I'm more excited for the James Gunn stuff right now.
Yeah.
I'm way more excited for what he's doing.
Yeah, Creature Commandos shows me he knows what's going on.
It's a lot of fun.
I did not watch any episodes of Buffy, which I was chastised by Jessica for. The Mayor and Glory are my favorite villains from Buffy. And let me just personally say a failing of mine. I always misspell villains. I never spell it properly.
Oh, wow.
I always spell it IA. Let's see. James Gordon's wife took James Gordon Jr. with her when she left. James Gordon Jr. killed her as kids before the mom left. Ew, what? Ew. Ew. That's what has me seriously concerned about Doom in these movies. The mask is everything. I don't think Robert is going to portray that. I'm really concerned about Robert Jr. Okay, that's fair.
Listen, you don't get Robert Downey Jr. and then you put him behind a mask 90% of the movie. You just don't. You're paying for that face. Okay? You're really paying for that face. And I don't know, man. I'm telling you, the first 30 minutes or 40 minutes of this damn movie is going to be, he's going to show up, however he's going to show up, and everybody going, man, it's really cool to have Tony back. How'd you come back? Blah, blah, blah. He's going to fool a bunch of people, and then secretly he's going to work behind the scenes. And then at the end or close to the third act of the movie, he's going to go, ta-da, I'm the bad guy, right? You know, that's kind of what this is. And then that's going to lead into Secret Wars and whatever. All this is leading to Incursions.
Yeah.
You know, all this has, if they're going to do Secret Wars and they really want to make it Secret Wars where it's Hickman's Secret Wars, you got to start introducing Incursions a lot more. And I think the My 2 cents. Don't hold me to it. I think the ending of the Fantastic Four is going to be an incursion. I think they lose and Galactus wins or whatever. Their planet gets wiped out and an incursion happens or it's about to happen. And that version of the Fantastic Four ends up on the MCU proper.
Oh, right. Because it's
Doctor
not
Doom's
Fantastic Four isn't on 616, right?
No.
It's like
This is
57XKLM or something.
Whatever it is. This is their own version. I think this ends with an incursion or something along the lines of an incursion. And then they jump and probably Downey Doom follows them.
Downey Doom. Oh, okay. Gail Simone Bakker-Lamas has a lot of James Gordon Jr.'s history in it. Okay, good. I read that a while ago. Obviously, I need to reread it. Thank you, Barnacle Blake. Batroc the Leaper, Megatony, and Terrible Eye and Gwenpool are technically villains, so I love them. Gosh, I love Gwenpool so much. Mask is everything for Dune. Is the Vision show still happening? It could be set up there before the movie later in the summer. I don't know.
Who knows, man?
The only show I'm aware of is Daredevil. Is Wonder Man still happening?
Yes, I think so. I think there was an update on that, which apparently Daredevil has gotten a lot of really good word of mouth so far. For whatever reason, Marvel always nails Daredevil. They've always gotten him right. So I'm really looking forward to this season.
I got to finish the Netflix ones before I see it. That's really what I should be doing is catching up on the D+ movies, shows. I know. Well, they're possible spoilers, but they're just thoughts of what he's going to do. Lou doesn't know. He's just spitballing here.
I'm just spitballing, man.
Danny DeVito as Mole Man.
I would love to see that.
Oh, Cillian Murphy, fresh off Oscar. He'd be good as Dr. Doom.
You're very good.
Very pretty face, though. They'd have to mess it up to be Dr. Doom. Yeah, you and me both. The mom said one of the main reasons she left was that she was afraid of what Junior might do to Barbara.
I also have on my list Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
I was thinking that myself. I was at the dentist today, and The Hobbit was on.
Oh, nice.
They had The Hobbit on, which I hadn't seen, and I thought, hey, Gollum would be a good villain. He's yeah, I agree with that. I thought about that.
Well, Gollum is very he's sympathetic in the sense of like this poor pathetic being that became obsessed with the ring. And really what he is that he's just a reflection of what could Frodo end up being at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. He represents, if Frodo goes down this path, this is what you will end up as, and you want to avoid it. But he's such an entertaining antagonist and a foil in certain ways to our two heroes because he's not all there. He is leading them, but he's got his own kind of wants and needs because he's all about the ring and stuff. I love Gollum. I love the character. I think he's fascinating and he's so well written, even in the movies and in the books.
Gollum is a Sinestro Corps member.
Oh my God, he would lose his mind over that with the ring. Well, he'd be more like a Larfleeze, wouldn't he? He'd have the orange ring.
He'd be a Larfleeze member, exactly.
Oh man, that's a good one. I love Larfleeze.
Oh yeah.
Oh, gosh, you've read the Christmas one, right? Where he was Santa Claus?
Yeah. I have both trades, which are badly out of print.
Yeah.
But Larfleeze, I think, is one of my faves.
Yeah.
He's barely a villain.
Larfleeze is just greedy. He just wants everything. There's it's got to be it's a long time since I've read this. Was it a one-shot issue where he meets Santa Claus or something like that, or he wants to meet Santa Claus? How does
Larfleeze?
Yeah,
I'd have to go grab them, but it has something to do with that. Yeah.
I forgot what it is.
Chris brought up Killmonger in. I thought Michael B. Jordan played a very scary, realistic Killmonger in Black Panther.
Killmonger is my favorite MCU villain. Still is.
He is the most realistic villain of all of those movies.
I love the character.
Yeah. I don't know this book. Atla? Ozai?
I don't know that one. Yeah.
Sorry, Jacoby, I'm not familiar with it. Who's putting it out, and what are your thoughts?
Oh, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Ozai. Okay.
Oh, that's all you. While you talk about that, I'll go get the Larfleeze issues.
Oh, man. Yeah, Ozai is good. Ozai is very good. Let me keep it on my list. So, yeah, in my reread of it today, there's a character named Patrick Hocksetter. Have you ever read it, Jess? I don't think he's listening. Okay. So there's a character named Patrick Hocksetter in it. And in many ways, he is far more terrifying than Pennywise. And a lot of something that the movie kind of failed on was Henry Bowers is really the highlighted main antagonist to our kids outside of Pennywise. But in the book, you get more details on the character of Patrick Hocksetter, who he's very minor in the movie. He's barely in it. And you find out this kid is worse than Henry Bowers. Far worse. He ends up killing his little brother in the crib. He ends up killing... He was basically a serial killer in the making until Pennywise killed him. Terrifying. Terrifying character.
Oh, I wonder if the Larfleeze one is in a Christmas collection, because I'm not seeing it here in the trades.
It has to be somewhere. Hold on.
I know I've read it, and I'm wondering if I read it in one of those DC Christmas specials, because they put them out every year.
This was in 2010. Green Lantern Larfleeze Christmas special. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not in here. But it's going to be in one of those Christmas collections. No gift wrap. Gods and Butlers now. Larfleeze. What a creation. Yeah, I have my Christmas books together, but it would take me a little bit to find. Okay. Oh, I already said Eobard Thawne. He was great in the Flash TV show.
Mm-hmm.
But I already said mine was Abracadabra because he scared the heck out of me as a kid, changing Flash into a puppet. But
what about Mirror Master?
Yeah, Mirror Master's great.
Mirror Master's a good one.
And Captain Cold was great. What's that guy's name? Wentworth Miller that played him in the Flash TV show.
Yep.
And then his sister. Well, who was his sister? His sister was good too. Captain Cold's sister. She was good too. Do the corporate bit? Yeah, they sure do. I'll tell you who else is a villain. Is Carmine Infantino for insisting that Jack Kirby's Superman faces be redrawn by Vince Coletta so they matched Superman line wide.
Are you serious?
A true villain. Yeah.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah. They erased Jack Kirby to make Superman look more like he did line wide. What the hell kind of decision was that? That's awful.
No, that's horrible. You don't do that.
Golden Glider. That's right. Thanks, Doug. Matt's checking out. Good to see you. Really good to see you. Favorite Sinister Six villain? I have the secret Sinister Six over there as part of my spider door. I'm missing a good Electro.
I'm going to make a confession. I haven't read almost any Sinister Six.
Well, it's Craven, Mysterio, Doc Ock, Sandman, Electro, and
What am I getting confused
Vulture.
with? Hold on. I was getting my Sinister Six mixed up with
Secret Six?
Secret Six. Thank
Yeah.
you, Bill Simone. Yeah, I was getting that mixed up in my head. Hold on. It's been a long day.
That's all right.
It's been a very long day. Let's see. Who's on the team? Let me take a look here. I know you just said it. All right, so we've got Dr. Octopus, Venom, Craven the Hunter, Mysterio, Warrior, Black Cat. I mean, the stereotypical choice is Doc Ock, right?
Yeah.
But you can't. I mean, it's got to be Doc Ock. I mean, the dude stole his body. It's like, yeah, I'm going to steal your body. I'm going to become a better version of you. And it kind of works for a while. Yeah. God damn, do I miss Superior Spider-Man.
Oh, I know. It's so good.
It was so good.
I saw Luther, and he's right. Ruth Wilson was vicious in that show. There's only like 6 episodes. Holy guacamole. She was vicious.
Does she play the woman that tries to blackmail him? Idris Elba, right?
She kills her family, including the dog, sticks the gun inside the dog because she knows the dog will be cremated. And Luther figures out like right away that she's the one that did it, but he has no proof. And she just, wow, she's so good. It's almost uncomfortable to watch. She's so good. Vulture. I don't think Shocker was an original Secret Six member. I think it was Electro. Started watching Creature Commandos. Oh my god, it's so good.
Who's your favorite villain in Superior Foes of Spider-Man?
Oh.
Beetle? I love Beetle. I love Beetle, man.
There's a Shocker's in that. In Superior Foes of Spider-Man.
Shocker's so good in that. Silvio Silvermane might be my favorite villain in that book.
I wanted his name because he's the head on the little car, right?
He's the head on the little RC car.
That is so funny.
It's such a great bit, man. I love it so much.
This book needs to be reprinted badly.
Oh, God.
This has been out of print for like 6-7 years. This is ridiculous.
The whole bit with Dr. Doom's painting, where there's a painting and it reveals his face and he wants it back, is so good. Oh.
Here's where they get the head of Silvio Silvermane.
Shocker is so proud of himself, too. Boomerang is so great in that book, man. Oh my god.
That's I need to reread this so badly.
There was a period there for, I want to say about 2 to 3 years where Nick Spencer was writing some of the funniest comics.
Yeah.
He wrote Superior Foes of Spider-Man, was hilarious. And then he wrote that Ant-Man series, which was actually really good too. It was really fun.
Yeah. And Steve Lieber's art is really great. What?
What is that? Okay.
The book is an omnibus that was only $50. Superior Foes of Spider-Man. When did it come out? It's been not drunk. My phone became a chew toy. I believe that.
Yeah, I believe that. That's all right, man.
Yeah, of anybody, you get the pass, Doug. When was this put out? 2016. So this has been out of print. That thing stayed in print for about a year and has not been reprinted.
I don't see them reprinting it. It was a niche comic. It was barely that comic went on longer than it should have just on sales. It was a miracle we got what we got on that book. It was always on the bubble.
Yeah. So funny.
It was so good, dude. Yeah. Oh my god.
It was like really, that's what Very Fine would call a really smart comic, I think. It was because they made really smart jokes in that book. What's better, Superior Spider-Man or Superior Foes of Spider-Man? Well, they're two very different books. Superior Spider-Man, I think, is one of my favorite regular Spider-Man books ever, but Superior Foes of Spider-Man is one of the funniest things Marvel's ever put out.
Yeah, because it all they're almost two different genres, because Superior Spider-Man is just a Spider-Man story. It's a typical superhero story, only in this case, it's Dr. Octopus that's inhabited Peter's body and is going, you know what? I'm going to do a better job than he did. And for a while, and I'm talking about a good chunk of that book, he actually is doing a better job than Peter was doing. He's like, what do you mean? This dude doesn't have his doctorate? He's a genius. I'm going to go ahead and get him a doctorate. And he ends up making Peter a doctor. What do you mean he's broke? He's a genius. He's a super. No, this is not going to stand. I'm going to make him a tech billionaire or a tech millionaire.
That's right.
He makes his life better for a while, and then eventually it all comes crumbling down, but it works for a while. Superior Foes of Spider-Man is one of the funniest comics that you've ever read, because it's really just a bunch of D-list, E-list villains with Spider-Man, and it's almost slice of life, because they just try to go behind each other's back and screw each other over in the most funny ways. They keep sabotaging each other, and you realize, if these guys got their stuff together and actually tried to work with each other, they might make something happen. But no, they just
keep trying, and they just can't pull it off.
They can't pull it off. And it's so over the top, and some of the stuff they get into is so absurd that it's just hilarious, and it's so much fun. We've said this before, you don't need to have any familiarity with any of these villains. You don't. And it's so much fun, dude.
I didn't
know who Beetle was.
Half the cast has wings of some type. Boomerang, Beetle something, somebody else. They've all got... Who's here? Boomerang, Shocker, Speed Demon, the Beetle, Overdrive. No, you did not count wrong. This crew is the Sinister Six, is so superior they only need 5.
That's right. They're the Sinister Six, but they've only got 5 members. I forgot about that. Oh, I love that book. You know what, Jess? Let's do it next month. I know we said Lock and Key. I think this book will be a lot easier.
I'd love to read this again.
Let's do it next month. We said Lock and Key, but let's push Lock and Key back, and we will do Superior Foes next month for Patreon.
Just so you know, I stayed up late Saturday to read Fakakta, Cacophony, and Widening Gyre.
I'm so sorry.
I have thoughts on that.
I'm so sorry.
I know we have to do 2 Patreons in March. Don't worry, it's burned into my head now.
Was it like the Iliad and the Odyssey? Widening Gyre and Cacophony? Is that the equivalent?
Yeah. Good comparison. Iliad and the Odyssey.
Okay, good. Good.
I picked up on a couple things that I had forgotten that were just so it's really widening gyre where he really loses it.
Okay, so Cacophony was great, is what
No,
you're saying.
I didn't say that.
You all heard it now. So 3 years from now, when there is an updated trade paperback for Cacophony, this book was good. Just OmniBros fault.
Don't you dare put words in my mouth.
Oh Lord, I have to read it. I will read it. It's only 10 issues, right? Yeah, yes.
Yeah, that's about right. It's two thin trades, yeah, and I read it on DC Unlimited.
Okay, all right. I'll read it this week.
Oh, Hondo, you missed an autograph remarked superior foes off of Steve Lieber, and you passed. Yeah, it's not in print anymore.
Is it going for a lot?
I don't know. It was $50 cover, and I'm sure IST had it for 50% off, so it cost me $25.
Let's see, how much is the omnibus going for? Damn. Wow. Okay. So there is a current bid right now. There are 10 watchers on it, and it's $90.
Already at $90.
Yeah, there's 10 watchers. It's $90. There's one for 105. There's one for 98.
That's not too bad considering how out of print it is, and it was $50. That is double cover, but
let me see. Buy it now. Let's see what's under buy it now. Yeah, buy it now. It's looking like it's floating around $90 to $100 in most cases.
Okay. That's still double cover, but and you might be right. That might not get reprinted. I will definitely vote high for it on the reprint poll this year.
No, that's not going to get a reprint. I really doubt it. It was such a niche book, man.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking about books.
Yes.
Books.
Yes.
Okay, today's rant. Here's the villain. The Bezos site is going to make it so that everything you've downloaded on your bought and put into your Kindle app on your iPad, it's only going to be on Kindle from now on.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I am not buying a Kindle to read those books. So I have some really good books on my Kindle that I just haven't gotten to.
Is it only going to be on a Kindle device?
Yeah.
Or is it you can only download it on a Kindle device?
You can only read what you own on a Kindle device.
There's no way. They're not going to cut out iPads. Right? There's no way, dude.
I don't think that Kindle app's going to be working for much longer on an iPad.
Hold on. Kindle.
Yeah, I think the Kindle app is going to be worthless here from what I read, which just goes to show physical media is the only way to go. Yeah, exactly. You don't really own those digital purchases. They cost me money, but apparently I can't read them.
So what I've been doing for my prose reading is I will get the physical, but I'll also get the Kindle version because it's so much easier for me. And towards the end I work on a computer a lot during the day. Towards the end of the day, when I have some downtime and I can actually read, the least thing I want to do is stare at another screen. So I'll pull out the paperback and I'll read that. And that's kind of been working for me.
Kane says you're buying a license to rent it.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing with all this stuff. That's with streaming.
Yeah.
With digital stuff, you're buying a license, man. That's why I'm an old fogey and I'm still buying physical media. I just picked up Nosferatu on 4K. I
don't blame you.
I still buy discs.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't blame you a bit.
And I've started now buying books again, just like actual, not comic, but like actual prose novels, because I just don't trust this stuff anymore. I don't like where a lot of this stuff is going. And I'm the conspiracy theory nut or whatever it is when my friends look at me and go, "Oh, you still buy physical media?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go on my Kindle app and see what I really like. And I mean, that's where all my Junji Ito books are. And I thought, oh, I can always go back and read those because those were the only manga I could read, and so those will be gone. There's a bunch of other things on there.
Hold on, let me get.
Oh, edited. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, they won't let you download. You should download your Kindle ebooks now. It's not letting you download. I think you'll still have it on the iPad. What I think it won't let you do is download anything anymore. I think they're stopping that.
I'm okay if I can just read it.
That's my understanding.
What's the date that that's happening?
Today.
Oh, well, I'll go up and see if I can read my Kindle books tomorrow.
But starting on February 26th, Amazon is taking away its users' ability to download Kindle books to computers. You'll still be able to download books from your Kindle library, but only on Wi-Fi enabled devices. So what's the big deal? There are two big issues here. If you want to upload books to your Kindle, you'll have to do that on a Wi-Fi enabled device, and many users prefer to leave their device on airplane mode. But more importantly, you'll no longer have the option to convert your ebooks to PDFs.
Okay, maybe I'm okay with that as long as I can read them. I understand.
Do you constantly have to be hooked up to Wi-Fi for this to work? Is that what happens? I don't know.
So you can't read them on a plane?
This is so I don't understand. Maybe I'm the idiot here. I don't understand it. I don't understand what they're. All right, can somebody dummy this down for me in the chat, please? What exactly is it that's going on?
Yeah, AS and Kane, you seem to know what's going on. What are we missing here? And Xcamera says you can't download them to a hard drive or remove the DRM. Okay. You can read them, but can't move them to another device outside of Amazon's Kindle environment. Okay. As long as I can read them, I'm okay. But Kane's point is a good point. You're paying a license to rent it.
Yeah.
Which frosts my cookies. Kindle app looks to still work. Okay. Hey, there's Jaggernaut from the Great White North. What up? Okay, I'm a little less frosted now. As long as I can read them. Okay, so Bezos is evil and a villain. So let's see. What other good villains are there? I told you about Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth, which was like 1,200 pages, and I read it back in like 1991 or something. It's set in the 1100s, and it's about the building of a. It's actually very fascinating because Ken Follett used to be a suspense thriller writer, and he wrote this really great Pillars of the Earth book about how stonemasons wanted to build a cathedral and the algebra that went into the creation of a stone arch, and how it was figured out to be able to do that. There's a villain in that book, and I just can't pull his name, that does whatever he wants. He's the son of I think he's an earl for a period of time. He's not. I don't think he's like the sheriff, but he does whatever he wants. Terrible things at all times because he thinks he has protection.
Elon Musk. Sorry, I had to slip that in there. We keep moving on. Well, let's keep moving on. Sorry.
And he gets what's coming to him, and it was the most satisfying thing because he really enraged me in that book. It was a fantastic book.
Okay, cool, man. We are getting a little long in the tooth tonight. Do you mind if we kind of start calling this? We're going about.
No, I think that's fine. Let's talk about where you can get books that you own and don't have to worry about it not appearing on some device. You get the own them physically, and that's the best way nowadays. That's in stocktrades.com, where you can get 30 to 80% off a book, 80% sometimes in those sales, 2% loyalty discount, which I just used today to get some books.
Nice.
$50 gift card is given away every month. We just gave it away on Monday, and on the beginning of a new month is coming right up this weekend, March.
Yes.
So we'll be able to give another one away. Thank you to IST for that gift card. $50 or more in an order gives you free shipping in the U.S. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's in stocktrades.com.
This Sunday, Jess and I will be doing our Patreon stream. We owe you guys for February. So for the month of March, we're going to be doing 2. But we will be doing this Sunday where we will be reviewing Kevin Smith's Cacophony and Widening Gyre. Jess was a great spirit, and he read both books last Saturday.
Blurg.
Yeah, sorry, man. We will be reviewing that live on the for patrons. You can join us for $5 a month. Patreon.com/OmniBros live. I believe there's a link down below.
I have a thing for that. Let's see. Where is that?
We greatly appreciate it. $5 a month, guys. We know things are tight for everybody. We understand. Our Patreon stream is now less than a carton of eggs. Look at that. So you can choose if you want eggs or if you want entertainment. If you want, go ahead, guys. We always appreciate it. Honestly, thank you so much for our patrons. And we will be doing that live stream. Did we decide? 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock? Okay.
1 o'clock? Yeah. So we'll be doing that 1 o'clock this Sunday.
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. Come and join us, okay? I will be posting the link tomorrow. I'll text you tomorrow as a reminder so we get the link posted up.
Okay.
Hey guys, so with that, you ready?
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks to everybody. Good. We cheered you up. Kevin Smith, the Clerks guy. Yep. Pro tip, you can freeze your chicken eggs. That's right.
There you go.
Appreciate it. And here's my Discord. Thank you, James. James, I'm going to hit you up on Discord after this. I actually do need a thumbnail if you could help me out. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to Lou for joining me on Wednesday night. And we greatly appreciate everybody. Thank you. Peace and love to IST and everybody in the chat. Thank you so much. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Night, everybody.
Peace and love. Oh yeah, like this. Please go like it.